Thomas Pringle.
Thank you, Last Concorda, and I welcome the opportunity to contribute to the debate this evening on this piece of legislation. And I think it's important, and I would commend Deputy McGrath for bringing it forward, but it's important to keep this item on the agenda here, and it seems that private members' business is the only way it can be done, because it certainly doesn't appear to be on the agenda of the government. And it is a crisis that has materialised, but it's not a crisis that wasn't foreseen. In May 2011, the technical group on a private member's motion raised the mortgage crisis for the first time in the life of this Dáil, and raised the mortgage crisis. And of course, like every other debate, and like tomorrow night, it was voted down by this government, the motion which was proposing solutions to the crisis and solutions for people coming down the road. Now, at the time when the government voted it down, I thought maybe the crisis hasn't arrived yet, or maybe it's not fully materialised, and so the government is holding off to see what the extent of the problem will be. But yet here we are now, 4 years down the road, and the extent of the problem just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and the government keeps doing less and less. And anything that the government has done is done in favour of banks and in favour of the lenders in this situation. And even the changes made by the central bank recently in relation to the deposits required for first-time buyers, it actually says to them that the onus is on them to be prudent. The onus is on them not to get into this situation. And that reinforces that whole idea that it's all our own fault. We partied too much, and that's why we're in the crisis that we're in now. But why isn't the onus being put on the banks to act responsibly? Why isn't the onus being put on the banks to ensure that they don't overlend to people and they don't extend themselves? Why don't we even consider giving people non-recourse mortgages, and then that would put the full onus on the bank to ensure that the money they lend out is dealt with sensibly. And that would do more, I would say, to prevent a property bubble than putting false onerous deposits on people and requirements on people who are just going to find ways around it and find ways of getting past it. And also, you're going to create a whole insurance market where people will be able to insure the level of the level of the deposit above the 10% requirement. But anyway, that's in relation to a future issue that we'll have to deal with in years to come. On the 16th of February, Minister, and it's been said here before already, there was 271 repossession cases before the Circuit Court in County Donegal. In one case, a family with 6 children facing repossession, where the husband had to emigrate in order to get work to try and keep that family in their home. And those are the people that are coming before the courts. And we have a housing crisis already, but you're just going to add to that by making sure that those people lose their houses and end up on the social housing list. And unless you deal with this once and for all, that is what's going to continue to spiral out of control.
Thank you. Could I ask you,